Good night, everyone. Doing tonight, God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Erminger Spirit Divine. I'm here to give you a word on tonight. First I'm gonna start with a cold case, missing person, and I'm also unsolved spiritual divine. So this girl here disappeared of Alabama. She lived in Alabama. She was in college, a graduate. She had just entered on graduated, and she was tied to a man who had a past. That when he was 12 years old, he killed both of his parents, and he admitted that he killed both of his parents. Now Laura, her name was Laura Ann, and she was a university graduate who vanished in 2006. When she was supposed to show up at her best friend's house, to watch movies. But her disappearing remained a mystery until this year. So now June the 10th of 2006, they show a civilian video showing that Lauren was shopping in Alabama Walmart. And a friend said that she called her at 6:30 p.m. That she was going to stop at the store, and she did stop at the store to show the camera that she was in Walmart. And when she enrolled in nearby urban university, her parents had brought her a trailer, a mobile home trailer. And want her to stay, on the campus. Want her to stay off the campus. So got her own trailer for her to stay in. So now this is the boyfriend, Rick. This little boy when they pulled up his file, 12 years old, and killed both his parents. Rick said she was going to make a big drug deal. Now he should have been the first one this searching suspect. Now the mother said, "Did you tell this to the police?" He didn't say none of this to the police. All of a sudden, he just come up, oh, she gonna make a drug deal. So the mother said the police came to the trailer to search the trailer. Now 4 days after her disappearance, Laurie, all of a sudden her car pop up, all burnt up, into a fireball on a dissolution outside of a construction site, not far from her trailer. Now Lola she was not in the car, the police said. But now the investigation has shifted from a missing person to a possible homicide. First they were looking for a missing person. Now 4 days later, her car had showed up, pop up, and it's all burnt up. So they're looking at homicide. So now the police investigate drugs into the tip of our Lauren dealing with drugs, but they found no evidence. None that he was telling was the truth. So now the police is digging deep into him. Digging deep into him now, but he's starting to be suspicious. Now, so police want to know if he hides something. So now the mother become to be suspicious of Rick. So Mark. Now the mother had got an agent. A special agent with Alabama State Bureau investigation. And he's real good. 20 years later, he got on the case and he started breaking it open. He started with this cold case unit and started with this disappearing, and he gonna start with Lauren. It's gonna be his first case and his first priority that he gonna be dealing with. So Lauren vanished, and Rick was the last one to see her. So they put up Rick file from 1993 when he was 12 years old. Rick murdered his parents, and Rick admitted that he killed both of his parents. And they searched his backpack. He had a kitchen knife and everything in there. But Rick shot his parents in the face using a little shotgun. He was mad because the parents was planning on moving. So he had to, now Rick was 12 years old, and he couldn't be tried as an adult. So they'll try him as in a juvenile detention in Alabama, and he was released after he turned 21. So now this agent trying to determine if he killed again. If he killed his parents, when he was 12 years old. And now this girl is missing. Now the agent want to know if he done killed someone again. So June the 14th, 2006, that's when the car had was found, popped up. So the agent Mark, he's solving this cold case. And this will be his number one priority. So Rick DNA. So this agent here is good. He started finding DNA. He found the DNA was identified in her Simon that found in Lauren bed sheet. His son was found in her bed sheet. His blood was in her interior of her front door. And one of the rugs investigators said was in Lauren's kitchen. So 12 years after Lauren disappearing, you know, there is now enough of evidence to charge Rick with murder. You know, uh, 12 years later, and they still had blood and everything, some, everything in her sheets. They must have kept everything, don't touch it, and they must have kept it just intact. For 12 years, they still found evidence to arrest Rick. So they have enough evidence to charge Rick with, for her murder. You know, so August the 6th of 2018, when they arrest Rick, to arrest him for her murder. So that's a horrible story there. So we're gonna talk about the tropical update. So the Iran could strengthen tropical storm update. In Atlanta on Saturday night. So it's currently forecast to become a major hurricane. Before landfall, which is still predicted for part of Florida. So now you're talking about Florida. They're close to home. Talking about Florida. Though monitoring don't have a sensor of which part of Florida. So they don't have no sensor of which part of Florida, but they know it predicted it might be coming towards Florida. So so we also talk about Laura being missing. So I was, so this disappearing. She been disappearing like 12 years ago. And they just now found evidence on Rick enough to arrest him. After 12 years to arrest him. So they found his blood, his sign, was all in her bed sheet. So they had enough evidence to arrest him. Her car popped up, after 4 days after her disappearing, all burnt up. So Rick had a past, and I don't even think she knew, because the mama would have said something at the beginning, so they didn't know. She got this agent. It seemed like he's real good. He pulled up his file. Since he was 12 years old, he killed both of his parents. He admitted to it. So they was searching for a missing person. Now it's homicide. So the police are investigating. They're investigating. And then Rick, he served 9 years, but when he made 21, they released him. So they release him. So I will still look into seeing how it happened and where she at. Because I am an unsolved spiritual divine. So I will still look into it and see how, what he did, how he did it. And I will get back to y'all on that gold case. So we also talk about the tropical update. It's strengthened. They might have a major hurricane landfall, which still predict a part of Florida, and that's close to home. So they still will constantly keep on monitoring this storm. And I will keep on monitoring also, and will bring it to y'all attention. So that's all the show news I have for y'all on today, and I see y'all in the next video. Have a blessed last night.